All right, so we're back in Austin, back in the homeland. Been traveling to Brazil. I was out in Brazil with my girlfriend out in Rio de Janeiro. We were in Curitiba for a while, right? And then we've been back in Austin for about 2 or 3 weeks now. Been really getting into my routine. I think when we're traveling a lot, it's hard to stay in a real routine, right? So it's been really good to get back in the gym. The only problem right now is that the closest Gold's gym to me is about 30 minutes. So today, woke up at 5:30, drive 30 minutes to the gym, work out for about an hour and 15 minutes, drive back, right? And then by then we start our team meeting at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Central Time. But today, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I feel like on Instagram, the way we sell is a little hypey, right? Because I've always thought that if people really know what it takes to have success, what it takes to win, they won't want to do those things, right? Because they only want to do the flashy stuff. They only want to do the stuff that, is shown on the surface, is shown in the marketing, right? But they don't really understand what it takes to actually win, right? So today I wanted to go through 3 main things, right, that you have to lock in, you have to dial in with in order to actually have success. And what are those 3 things, right? Well, we have our brain, right? We have our thoughts, right? This is what we do on a day-to-day basis. We have our inputs, right? This is our activities, our daily activities every single day of what we're actually doing. And then we have our skills, right? And for most of us, we just simply don't have the skills to really succeed. We don't have the skills that are needed to be in the top 1%, right? I've been running the Modern SDR for about 17 months now, and I realized that the hardest thing that I've had to do, right, is lead people. It's a completely different skill set than something like sales, right? But in business, there's so many different things you have to actually know how to do. You have to know how to lead people. You have to know how to read data, right? I'd say I'm a number-oriented person, but I've never been really good at tracking the data. So I've been really dialed in with that, these past few months, and that's allowed our business to make strides, right? To actually make strides and, get towards success. And that's brought about a lot of really hard decisions, right? It's brought about, very hard conversations, and it sucks. But at the end of the day, if someone's skill sets aren't where they need to be, then they can't continue growing a vehicle, right? Because a vehicle, any system, requires on all aspects of the system to actually be working, right? And you might hear a little bird in the background. We're on this beautiful patio here. But what I wanted to talk today about is these 3 things, these 3 inputs that you really need in order to have success, right? And that's, what are your thoughts on a day-to-day basis, right? What are your belief systems, right? What are the inputs that you're actually putting in? And what are your skill sets, right? So let's start off with your thoughts. What do you think about every single day, right? Are you thinking about success, or are you thinking about what actually holds you back, right? Are you surrounding yourself by positive people, or are you surrounding yourself with negative people who have toxic beliefs and hold you back, right? What are you doing in your spare time? Are you going out and drinking? Are you going out and partying, right? And then really just confused why nothing's actually working, right? Are you confused to why you've been stuck in the same 9-to-5 job for the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? But then when you come home, you're watching Netflix, you're, hanging out with friends, you're drinking beers, right? If you actually wanted to make a change, then you would be doing something else, right? Let's say you work 8 hours a day, right? Then you sleep for 8. What are you doing with the other 8 hours? Maybe 2 hours are spent eating, right? Maybe it's driving to work, right? But then what happens with the other 6 hours? Well, if your thoughts, right, if your brain is not going towards activities, towards inputs that are actually going to get you the results that you want, then you don't really deserve those results, do you? Right? Now, I think self-belief is one of the biggest determining factors of success, right? And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it's about compounding effects, right? Let's say that you're the best baseball player on the team and you believe that you're the best, right? You're just slightly better than your teammates. So then your coach puts more effort into you, right? He tells you you're good, right? Your family's telling you you're great. Your other teammates are telling you that you're great. So then you believe you're great. And then when you believe you're great, right, then you perform better. And then your coach helps train you more, right? And then from there, right, you become better. And it's this flywheel of success. But let's look about it, the other way. Let's say from the beginning of life that your parents told you, hey, you're going to amount to be nothing, right? You are nothing, right? And then you have these self-limiting beliefs that you can't achieve things. So then in school, right, let's say your parents tell you that you're bad at math. So then you believe you're bad at math, right? Then you're not performing well. So then your teachers are focusing their efforts on other kids who are performing better. So then you don't get the help you need. So then you continue performing poorly, right? And you can't get out of this cycle. So when it comes to success, your belief, your mindset is everything. Because without a positive belief system, without positive belief structure, it is near impossible for you to get the results that you want, right? Now, let's say you have a positive belief system, right? Let's say you believe you're the best, you're amazing, right? Well, then let's take a look at your inputs, right? What's actually stopping you from getting you to where you want to be, right? Well, let's say you're a sales rep. And let's say, for example, you have a 10% pickup rate. So that means for every 100 leads you call, you have a 10% or 10 people that actually pick up, right? So let's say from those 10 people, you book 3 calls, right? And then one of those calls close because your closers that you're booking for on the sales team have a 33% close rate, right? Well, if you know that data is consistent, right, over a month or 2 months or 3 months, whatever, and nothing changes, right? But you're stuck at the same income level. Let's say you're stuck at making $5,000 a month with those inputs. Well, what do you have to do? Your beliefs are there. You believe that you can have success. You're already seeing success, but we're only doing 100 inputs a day. What happens if we triple that? What happens if we 5x our amount of inputs, right? And we go from dialing 100 people to 300, right? Continuing a 10% pickup rate. That means we're having 30 conversations instead of 10. So if we have 30 conversations instead of 10, then let's say the same numbers stay the same. Then we're booking 9 calls a day with 3 closes. So simply from tripling our inputs, we would triple the $5,000 that we normally make, right, into making $15,000. So if you master your belief system, right, if you understand the inputs required to get success, right, then you have 2 out of the 3 things necessary to win, right? Now let's take a look at skills. And this is more specifically in relation to sales because this is what we teach at the Modern SDR, right? But in relation to skills, right, do you have the necessary skill set in order to win, right? Do you believe that someone like Steph Curry will have better results at basketball than a high school player that's on the B team, right? Well, it's pretty obvious. Steph Curry will have better results. And why, right? Why can Steph Curry maybe shoot 10 shots, right? Make all 9, while the high school basketball player might shoot 50 and make only 9, right? Well, the high school basketball player has 5 times the inputs, but his skill level is nowhere near what Steph Curry is, right? And the same thing applies to sales. Let's say I have a rep, right, who's been doing this for 8 years and he calls 100 people. He has 10 conversations. He might book 7 calls because his call frame, the way he handles himself is just 10 times better, right? Or in this case, I guess it would be about, 2 times or 3 times better. So if you have better skills, right, then that means from the same amount of inputs as another sales rep, right, or another business, you could be getting better results. Right? So if you're able to have self-positive talk, right? If you're able to have positive self-talk, you get out all the negative people, the negative drama, all the problems in your life. You understand the inputs actually needed to win and get success in whatever particular industry or business that you're in, right? And then if you focus on your skill sets, that's how you truly optimize for success, right? So if you master these 3 things, that is how you win, right? So I hope this gives you some good insight into how you can control your life a little bit better, right? If you focus on these three things in whatever you're in, right? Maybe you're stuck making $3,000 a month, right? Well, if you're stuck making $3,000 a month because you're only working 4 hours a day, right, in a sales position, well, what if you double your hours? Will you make 6K, right? Okay, let's say you make 6K. Well, then how can you get to 10K? Well, if you increase your skill level, right, or you increase your efficiency, right, within the system, then that could be the lever that you need to pull in order to get to 10K a month. So I feel like when you really analyze what your thoughts are in your brain, what your inputs are, right, and the skill level you have, this is how you truly find success. So I hope that video was helpful. That's really all I got today. I'm gonna be start doing more. I'm gonna start doing more of these. I kind of like this style a little bit more. It's more natural to me. I know we just had the day in the life video go live. We've had a few other sales trainings go out, but I genuinely hope this was helpful. This will probably be on some sort of podcast at some point. We'll kind of just have this on Spotify or, somewhere else. But if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like, share it with a friend if you found this helpful, or don't. Comment your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay. Cheers.